Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here, bringing you your November 2022 TarotScopes. It is mind-blowing that this is where we're at, and I have this deep sense of urgency that I can't seem to shift and I can't seem to shake. I've been paying attention over the last couple of days to conversations that I've had with clients, messages that have come through from Spirit when I'm having my consults with clients. And there's definitely the sense of urgency. There's definitely the sense of we need to hurry up, we need to hurry up, we need to hurry up. Now, it's interesting because I sort of check in with Spirit and say, hurry up with what? Like, what are you specifically referencing, or what are you specifically wanting us to do? And the message that keeps coming through is that we momentum is picking up. Okay, we are moving towards a whole new reality. We are moving into very much unknown territory, and I know the future is unknown territory. The future is something we've not experienced or done before, but it's almost like we have been prepared for something big, for something major that is going to take place, a huge shift that is going to happen. And we have a lot of work to do individually and collectively. We have, and this is why Spirit keeps saying, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, the sense of urgency that's coming through. Because if we don't get our ducks in a row, if we don't sort ourselves out, if we don't allow ourselves to have the understandings that we need to have, we're limiting and restricting ourselves in all we are and all that we do. So when I connect with Spirit and I get the sense of urgency that keeps coming through, it's almost like Spirit to say, we have to do the work. We have to look within. We have to, each one of us have to work on ourselves. Let's stop looking at other people. Let's stop judging other people. Let's stop being critical of other people and what they're doing and how they're doing it. And let's all internalize and let's focus on our own selves and ask ourselves, are you happy with who you are? Have you done the work that you needed to do? Have you processed your trauma, your pain, your hurt from the past? Are you in a place of happiness right now? Are you excited about your future? I mean, these are a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lot of you are going, no, 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 no. And this is the work that needs to be done. We need to get ourselves in a place where we are comfortable, where we are happy, where we are burden-free. Now, let's be completely honest. None of us could ever be burden-free. None of us could ever actually get ourselves into that place where we don't have a worry or a stress, because life is tough, life is hard. But our outlook is shifting. The way that we are perceiving life is shifting. The way that we are behaving and what matters is shifting. But if we're staying in old regimes and old processes, old methods and old systems, we can't progress. So when the sense of urgency comes through, it's like Spirit is saying, it's time to do an upgrade. It's time for you to adjust your methods, your processes, all of those kind of things in order to be fully aligned with the new reality that's coming through for us. I have, on again, so many occasions heard from Spirit that 2023 is going to be massive. 2023 is the reason why we've had the last couple of years that we've had. 2023 is going to just, the way we enter and the way we exit are going to be so radically far apart from each other. I can't actually even put it into words, but we need to understand that it's time to process, to heal, to deal, to unwind, to unpack, to just not carry any of those stresses into the new year. We need to make sure that when we go into 2023, that we are going in ready, open, transparent, excited, enthusiastic, motivated, but we need to leave the past behind because it doesn't serve us anymore. It doesn't serve us any purpose or any function. So very, very interesting. Friends, you're here for your November 2022 TarotScope. So I record this intro. Everybody gets the same intro. So I record the intro once, then I switch the camera around and I give you for your particular zodiac. I just want to show you what cards I'm going to be working with for our TarotScopes this month. My tarot deck of choice is this amazing CS Tarot. CS Tarot is one of my all-time absolute favorite go-to decks. It is what I refer to as my go-to, but it's because it's the original simplified Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. It's like me going back to basics. It's like getting rid of all other people's expectations or other people's ideas or other people's ideals, and just getting back to the core of what tarot is all about. So, and that's why I thought it was so appropriate to use it this month, because this deck speaks a truth that we need to hear. So I'm going to use that CS Tarot for us today. And the Oracle deck that I'm going to work with is the Wisdom of the Oracle. So Wisdom of the Oracle is another very simple Oracle deck. Again, one that carries such strong truth. One that's images are pretty and beautiful, but its messages just sort of get rid of all the clutter, get rid of all the gumph, and just get straight to the point. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to stick to the same format as I used last month, because it's to the point, it's direct. There's not an excess amount of waffle. So the messages may be fairly short. The messages will be surely to the point, and I'm hoping it gives you whatever guidance you need to do the work that you need to do, so that you can clear yourself of burdens and baggage and drama and chaos. As we get closer to 2023, our heart spaces become more open, our minds become more open, and our souls are just ready for whatever the next year has to bring. So friends, I'm going to switch the camera around and let's get started. Hello Gemini. Right, let's get straight into your reading and let's see what the month of November has in store for you. We're going to start with this card over here, Gemini, and this card is going to give you the theme for the month ahead. So let's have a look and see what is the theme that the month of November has in store for you. And we have got Chop Wood. Now, Chop Wood is such an interesting card for me because obviously we don't chop wood. We don't chop wood, but chopping wood is about preparation. It's about getting yourself ready for a challenge, for a difficulty, for an experience. Chop wood is something that we have to do a lot of every now and again in order to have enough to sustain us, to get us through. So it's the preparation. It's not necessarily the main event. And I think, Gemini, this ties in so beautifully with the introduction where I was talking about being in the now and, being ready for the big changes that are coming through and being prepared, the sense of urgency and everything that we've got going for us. So Chop Wood is telling you that during the month of November, you're going to have to do a lot of preparation around all sorts of things, all sorts of different areas of life and all sorts of different circumstances. So you may feel like nothing's working. You may feel as if you're not gaining any traction. You may feel as if you're not accomplishing or achieving much, and that's because you're doing all the prep work. You haven't actually got around to doing anything as yet. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what the rest of the tarot have to say and how it contributes to that message of chopping wood. We're going into this card over here, Gemini, which is a card that is going to explain to us the lessons of the past. So I'm not talking just about the past month. I'm talking the past couple of days, the past couple of weeks, the past couple of months. So as of the time that you watch this video, the past, what have the lessons been? Everything that you've been dealing with, everything that you've been going with, what has been the overarching lesson for you? And the card we have is the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is the card of exhaustion, burden, feeling as if, gosh, am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to get there? Am I ever going to get there? So it's talking about the chopping wood. The fact that this has come through as the theme for November and this has come through as the lessons of the past, I do think it's telling you that this isn't quite done. That there's still that feeling that may linger through the month of November, that you may during the month of November still feel like, what's the point? Am I actually making any traction? Am I getting anywhere? Am I achieving anything? Or am I just on a treadmill and going nowhere slowly? Okay. So the Nine of Wands is the card of feeling burdened, feeling like, just things never quite work out the way you want them to, that there's always just seems to be one more thing. And it's exhausting, it's tiring, it's frustrating, it angers us, okay? So this is just acknowledging that you've been doing your best, you've been rocking up, arriving, doing the work, putting in the hours, putting in the effort, and even though you feel as if it's all been a waste, even though you feel as if it's all been for nothing, you are so close to seeing it all come together. So the story behind this particular card, and just to show you on the artwork, he's been building this fence, okay? So he's been erecting these poles. And, every time he thinks, today I will finish, the fence breaks, a pole breaks, he loses poles, and he's constantly having to repair, he's constantly having to work, and he just feels as if he's never getting there. You can see he's battered and bruised and bandaged, and everything is just really, really tough, really, really hard. But in his hand, he holds the very last pole, which needs to fit into the space right there. So he's at that point where he just wants to throw in the towel, where he just wants to throw his hands up and say, I'm done. But the truth of the matter is, he's like that far from achieving everything that he needs to. So this is saying to you that, yes, we understand that you've been chopping wood for a very, very, very long time. We understand that you're exhausted and all of the rest of it, but carry on chopping, because you are so close to completing, to succeeding, to achieving, to understanding the bigger picture. All right. I'm going to ignore that card for now, and I want to come down to the 3 that we have down the bottom here. So Gemini, we're looking at what you should avoid during the month of November. So what is something that you need to stay away from as much as possible during the month? And we have got the Chariot, which I understand, because the Chariot is the card of movement. It's about focused attention, focused movement. It's about understanding progress. And you need to not worry about that. You need to just keep chopping your wood. Don't worry about why, who, how come, what for, how often. Don't allow yourself to look at the journey. Don't allow yourself to look at how far you've come or what you've achieved, because it's not relevant right now. And if you do that, you're just going to end up more feeling overwhelmed and burdened and exhausted and frustrated and. So Gemini, this is Spirit saying, don't spend too much time looking at the journey. Don't spend too much time focusing on all of that. Rather just get back to chopping wood, because the quicker you chop, the quicker you get it all out the way, the quicker you get it done, the quicker we can move on. But you can't move on until the job is done. I feel like I'm a mother lecturing a child. All right, let's have a look at the next card that we have for you here, Gemini. And this is a card of what you need to embrace during the month of November. So something that you can embrace within yourself. And we've got the 4 of Pentacles. So if we look at the artwork here, okay, so we've got this gentleman sitting on a bench. He is balancing a coin, a disc, a money, a pentacle on his head. He's holding one in both hands in his heart space, and he's got his feet on pentacles as well. So the pentacles represent whatever is important or significant to him. The pentacles represent something of importance and significance in his life, and he's holding on tight. He's holding on to all of them, and he's refusing to let go. And this is something that you need to embrace. So it's like Spirit saying, don't feel like you have to chop wood for everybody else. Don't feel like you always have to share whatever wood you have with other people, because you know what? They need to go and chop their own wood. All right. So Gemini, everybody needs to go and chop their own wood. It's not your responsibility to be the wood chopper for everybody. And that's exactly what this card is telling you. It's telling you that there's a very fine line between being kind of generous, supportive, and just being downright silly. Okay, and if you just keep giving all your wood away to other people, you are going to have to chop wood for the rest of your life. You're never going to get to a point where you have enough. And this card is telling you that your own enoughness matters. Okay, you need to be focusing on how much is enough for you. And only once you've determined, right, this bundle is mine, this bundle caters for all my needs, and I don't need any more, then you can start giving away the excess that you have. But until you've actually done that work, do not give away anything. Hold on to everything that is relevant, everything that is important, and especially whatever this wood chopping is, hold on to it. Don't share with anybody unnecessarily, because people by nature are lazy. So if they can come and get free wood from you, of course they're going to do that instead of actually going and chopping their own wood. So you want to make sure that you're not making life too easy for everybody else and too hard for yourself. So embrace your selfishness. It's as simple as that, Gemini. Embrace your selfishness until such time as you know that you're okay, and then we can re-talk about this. The next card that we have for you here, Gemini, is something that you need to actively pursue during the month of November. So something that requires your actual attention and energy. Let's have a look and see. We have got the 3 of, I'm lying to you, the 2 of Wands. The Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is about choices and decisions. It's about looking at your circumstance and deciding where to next, deciding what would be a good choice for you, what would be a good move for you, where would be a good place for you. And I do think I want to go back to chopping wood, because Gemini, this is Spirit saying to you that when we're chopping wood, we are preparing ourselves for an event, preparing ourselves for something, whether it be a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, a 1 year, it doesn't matter. But chopping wood is the action of preparation for a time where you may not be able to get. And Spirit is saying to you to pursue this in your life, to actually understand what wood is in your life. Okay, what is this chopping wood? What is this preparation? What is this energy that you're putting into it? And what are you planning on doing with it? So what is the event, the situation, or the circumstance that is coming up for you? And this is telling you that there is going to be a chance for you to actually really and truly think about it and to make a solid choice decision as to what you're going to do with all your chopped wood. Are you staying or are you going? Are you experiencing something different, or are you going to stay within your current situation and current circumstance? So the Two of Wands is basically saying to you that during this month, there are going to be big choices, life-changing choices that you're going to have to make, Gemini. And the way that you make it is by focusing only on your needs, wants, and desires, and not allowing yourself to think about anybody else, not allowing yourself to consider anybody else. And don't look at, oh, well, I've done so much. And no, we're not looking at that. We're only focusing on the things that matter, the things that are relevant, and the things that are appropriate for you. And it's about making the decisions that are right for you, regardless of how it impacts on anybody else in your life. Okay, we have one more tarot over here. And Gemini, this is just an additional message from Spirit. Anything else that maybe I didn't pick up on, or anything else that Spirit just want to add or contribute to the story that is unfolding for you. And we have got the Patience card. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. So Seven of Pentacles is the card of you reap what you sow. So if you chop wood, you will be okay in the future. If you save for a rainy day, you will cope and handle and deal with rainy days perfectly fine. But if you keep giving to everybody else, and if you keep focusing on how much money you've had instead of how much you have, you're never going to achieve anything. So this is Spirit saying to you, patience is necessary, patience is key, but it's also about understanding you reap what you sow. The effort you put into determines the outcomes and the successes that you experience. Seven of Pentacles here for you, Gemini, is basically saying to you that, nobody else is going to tend to your fruit. Nobody else is going to tend to your vegetable garden. This is something that you have to do for yourself. And if you ignore it and neglect it, it's not going to develop into anything. It may, but not to its full potential. So, and yes, you may need to hire people to do the work, and you could absolutely do that, but you're still ultimately in control, and you're still ultimately navigating and making sure that basic things are taking place. And this is what you need to be focusing on. Chopping wood or getting the wood chopped, as long as you are in control and as long as you are preparing for your future, especially when it comes to this decision that you need to make. All right, good. So Gemini, we have one more oracle card left, and this is just, what does the future look like? What's coming up for you? What's ahead? Okay, what can you get excited about for the future? And we have a message in a bottle. Look at that. So there's the bottle floating in the water. There's a bird that's landed on it, and the bird is noticing that there is, I don't know if it's going to come through on camera, but it's a telephone. It's an old-fashioned telephone that's inside the bottle. And, telephone is communication. It's messages. It's expression. So message in the bottle is telling you that you are going to receive communications from afar. All right? Somebody who is far away from you. Now, far away from you might not only be physical distance, but it could be somebody who is just emotionally distant, all right? But there's somebody where there is a separation between you and them, whether it be a fight, whether it be an emotional, whether it be a physical distance, there is going to be communications from them, a message in a bottle coming through. And every time that we have a message in a bottle, it's a reaching out. Okay, it's not just, hey, how are you? I'm fine. Are you fine? Everybody's fine. Thank you. Goodbye. It's like, I'm stranded on an island and I need help. It's a message of distress. It's a message of asking for help and guidance, but it's going to come from somebody who is separate from you. And the fact that we have this card over here, which is telling you to pursue decisions and actions, I'm wondering if when you get this message, if you are going to have to make some interesting choices around how you react and how you respond, and whether you jump into action to help or whether you step back and tell them, no, I'm too busy chopping wood, I can't help you. All right. This is going to be very, very interesting, Gemini. I can't wait to see how this unfolds for you. Please do come back and let me know as soon as this situation unfolds, because it's going to be very, very fascinating. So Gemini, thank you for being with me. I do hope you've enjoyed your reading. I do hope it's given you a little bit of guidance for the month ahead of November. As always, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care, Gemini.